Hello world, Shelly and Ziva here, and I have been challenged to tell you what makeup I would replace immediately if I lost all of my makeup. And so I figured we would just put that whole face of makeup on. Oh, sorry, I hit Ziva in the nose just now. No, don't do that. Don't, no, nope, 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 nope. Whoa, yep, we're not starting. We got things to do. We have things to do. Let's start with foundation. Now, I've already got foundation on. It's the one thing I'm not going to apply because I am double dipping. I'm filming a foundation review right now, so I don't have, we only so many hours in the day. So, but this is the one that I would immediately repurchase, the only foundation to ever score 100% in my foundation reviews. It is the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. I have it in a couple different shades, and it is the one that I would make sure that I replaced immediately once foundation is done. You know, I didn't think about concealer. Let me look at my drawer. Oh, well, yeah, it'll be this one. I hate that I love this so much. I don't wear concealer all that often anymore, but I need ones that are really good and hydrating. It's the By Terry Terribly Denseless Concealer. Yeah, I would buy it immediately again. I do have a lot of concealers I like, but it's so good. So good, so hydrating. Rest in peace to my favorite. I got one right before they all sold out. Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away Concealer. My beloved. It's got a little higher coverage than the By Terry, but very similar every other which way. That's the one I would replace. I'm not going to wear a concealer today because I just haven't really been wearing it all that much. Blush, bronzer, highlight. Let's get the rest of the face going. I usually start with bronzer. The number one bronzer that I would replace immediately. In fact, I need to replace this one fairly soon because this one's super old and my pan is hardening and it doesn't really blend to come off the brushes nicely, and it's old, so I need a new one. It is the Balm Desert. It is, here's why. It is one of my favorites because it's one of the few on fair skin that has that reddish undertone to it. I'm going to do some swatching here. Let me show you some things. So it has a reddish undertone, and when you think about how fair skin reacts in the sun, we get red when we flush as opposed to tanning right away. So here's one of my other favorites, but it's not really a red undertone. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer. This one's in shade 2. And let me just swatch it side by side with the Balm Desert. And you can see immediately the difference in the tones. So the Balm Desert is this one. It's got a little reddish to it. And the Charlotte Tilbury is this. It's more of a golden yellow undertone. And on fair skin, that's just not what our skin does in the sunlight. So, in fact, I don't tan like ever. Even after the sun, if I have no sunscreen, I am white, and then I'm red, and then I burn, and then I peel, and I am white again. Like, I don't tan at all. So, a red undertoned bronzer is going to look so much more natural on fair skin that does not tan. Now, if you're one of those lucky few that have fair skin and you've got a complexion that allows you to tan a bit, well then, oh, is that my foundation brush? No, I grabbed the right one. I'm like, did I grab the wrong brush? But I love some red to my bronzer, and this is one of the few that has it. Now, the L'Oreal, is it L'Oreal? The one that's round and can't think of the name at all. I think it's a Lumi, True Match Lumi something or other bronzer. Bronze It is what it used to be called, and then it changed its name. That one in shade 2, the medium shade, also has a little bit of a red undertone, and that would be a contender for me as well. But I don't think I have it anymore. And if I do, it's in the, I bet I do, but I'd have to dig. This drawer is deep, and it's probably at the bottom. But yeah, Balm Desert, absolute favorite. Love the reddish undertone to it. That is why it would be my number one. I need a new one, because as you can see, this one just doesn't blend as well as it used to. It's super old, way past expiration. I'm even scared to even look it up. It's super old. Total winner, though. Now, blush. All right. I have a lot of blushes I like, and I don't wear my blush very heavily, which kind of makes it easier for me to have a lot of blushes that I like. There's like a cat hair in my nose. Thank you, Ziva. I appreciate you. But I had to dig through to some of my favorites, and in doing this challenge, I was looking through my drawers at some of my older favorites, and because what I wear on the channel here tends to be what's newest, you know, whatever I've got the most recently, and I'm playing with that and testing it out and whatever. But I've got some long time favorites that I dug out to consider as favorites. All right, do you remember this one? It's still out there. The Wet n Wild Pearlescent Pink. This one is a dupe, or so they've said over the years, for the NARS Orgasm. Silly names, but that one's up there. I wear this a lot. I've gone through several of these. One of my other former favorites that I have not used in a long time, Tarte Exposed. Remember this one? That one's pretty too. I like soft. I like pink. I don't like to go pretty heavy on my blush. That was a contender, but I think I'm going to settle on the Flower Beauty blush. This is the Flower Pots. Sweet Pea is the shade. It is just a nice, cool, toned pink that builds up if you want it to. I gotta say, I was really close, though, to picking the Natasha Denona My Dream Cheek Trio. I love this blush, and it has a really nice undertone for my skin. The reason I didn't end up picking this is, even though I wear this highlighter, I usually don't prefer a gold toned highlighter. I just kind of pick it because it happens to be in this palette. I prefer silver or a more clear to shimmer type of a highlight, so I don't usually go gold. So that's why I didn't pick this one, but it was way up there because I use this one a lot. But I settled on the Flower Beauty because it's just the most versatile, I think, and it's be the first one I would go back for and make sure I had in my collection. Right, Ziva? I doubt you can hear her, but she is purring like a machine. You see how it's buildable? You can build it up if you really want to. In fact, I think I built it up too much. You know me, I'm not a fan of a whole lot of blush. So I'm just gonna tap, tap, tap and decrease my blush just a little bit. All right. But it's just a good one. It's a good one, y'all. All right, highlight. Oh, we went back in the archives. We went back. Remember this one? Wet n Wild, Blossom Glow. Oh, but even farther back, do you remember my obsession? And I kind of forgot this existed. And I wonder if it still does. I mean, all these things, I will link down below, the ones that still do exist. It's kind of also why I'm giving alternatives, because if they don't exist anymore, then I couldn't replace them now, could I? Ooh, I want an honorable mention. Blush. Youthforia. The color changing blush oil. I love this stuff. It's not bold enough for a full face, like, or a full coverage face. Like, if I'm going to do a full beat look, it's not quite enough pigment, but for most days, I absolutely love this stuff. So that gets an honorable mention as one of my recent favorites. All right, but remember this one? Laura Geller. The good old Diamond Dust. I'm going to call this one the fave because I was so obsessed with this stuff. It probably realistically would be the Wet n Wild because it is more affordable and easier to get. I'm not even sure. She's still around, right? Like, her brand? I don't even know. But, oh, goodness. Goodness. It's got like a duochrome pink shift to it. Do you see this stuff? Oh, I have not worn this in so long. Oh, it's so pretty. I have a big one of it too. Like, I'm not kidding when I say I was obsessed. And the funny thing is, you only need a little bit. Like, I've used this a zillion times and have not even put a dent into the little rings on there. We're just going to add a little more because Because why not? Why not, right? I mean, I am not kidding you. I have, oh, wrong drawer. I have the big one as well. I love this stuff. I'm so glad I did this because I forgot about it. I forgot all about it. This one fell off my radar. I'm going to keep it out on my vanity for a while because it's so beautiful. So that would be the complexion. MAC Paint Pot in Painterly would 100% be my immediate repurchase for eyeshadow prep. I use it as primer. I like it because it does some color correction and it's got some opacity to it. So it hides the blood vessels that are visible in my eyelids. It hides this little red spot that I have on my eyelids. It lasts all day as a primer. It's just really good. I can even take it into my inner trough here and use it to kind of work as a little bit of extra concealer in there. This stuff is just the best, and the pot never dries out. Like, I will be able to use every bit of it. Most of these pot style products, especially eye cream type products, dry out and you have to throw them away and you still have half the product left. This will not dry out. You will have it until it's gone, which is amazing. I feel like there's cat hair everywhere. Eyeshadow palette. It would probably be the ColourPop Stone Cold Fox. Reason being, I love me some cool tones, and this one's well loved. I use this one a lot, and I travel with it, and I love it so much. It's got all the cool tones, and you can go deep and smoky, you can go light and natural. It would just probably be the one for me. It's got a little bit of rose tone to it if you want to go rosy. Although, I have a very, very recent acquisition that is rivaling it. And the only reason I didn't pick it is because of its smaller size and the lesser number of shades in it. But it is right there with something that if I had to wear the same makeup every single day, Lawless, the one. Specifically the lavender one, because you can also go simple, you can go light, you can go deeper, you can smoke it out, you can go neutral, or you can have a pop of color. This one, this was up there. This was a consideration. I'd probably go with Stone Cold Fox because of all the variety that comes with it. But thought about some Natasha Denona. There's actually a couple Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes I considered. I'm an eyeshadow palette, let's not say hoarder, let's put a positive spin on it and just say that I'm an eyeshadow palette junkie. And where is my Wayne Goss number 3? Because if we're talking about eyeshadow brushes that I would immediately replace, the number 3 from Wayne Goss would be one of them. Alright, I have to ask you guys something. All I can find is my number 4. Alright, well, I don't want the number 4. I want the number 3, so I'm going to use this one instead. This is his Wayne Goss Edit number 5. Now, let me talk about something real quick. Wayne Goss. I was scrolling through Facebook. On his page, a product popped up, and it had a link to a website that was not Beautylish. It was his own website. I think it was waynegoss.co.uk. And so I went to that website thinking, oh, I wonder if he's got the foundation in stock, because I missed it when it originally came out in my shade. And since I missed it, I did not get my hands on it. And all the light shades pretty much sold out almost immediately and have never come back in stock. So I went to his website to check it out, and indeed it looks like he now has his own website, like his own e-commerce site for his makeup products. And there were 2 things I noticed. Number 1, the foundation was not there. It was not on his website at all, not mentioned anywhere. Now the Beautylish website still has his foundation listed. All of the lighter shades are out of stock. They do have the notify option, you know, if you want to be notified when they come back in stock, but I've been on that list for, gosh, when did that foundation even come out? It had to be at least a year now. And it has never come back in stock. So, first thing I noticed, the foundation does not even exist at all on the Wayne Goss website. And I searched for foundation on his website, and the only thing that came up was the application puff that he made. So that was interesting. Is the Wayne Goss foundation going away? Is it not going to be restocked? Is it not a thing? He didn't have it anywhere on his website. The second thing I noticed is that his brushes are not on his website. So then I went back to Beautylish because I had noticed that they seem to be out of stock. And sure enough, there are very few of his brushes left on the Beautylish website. So is he not going to be making brushes anymore? Or are these brushes all being discontinued and then there's going to be new brushes? I don't know, but so on one hand it looks like he's probably expanding, you know, since he's going to have his makeup available via 2 channels, or maybe he's going to phase out Beautylish and only do it through his website. I'm not sure. But on the other hand, the foundation and the brushes seem like they're not sticking around. And I was a little concerned. So, yeah, that's that. So I'm just going to do my, like, typical everyday neutral-ish kind of an eye look with this one. But yeah, Wayne, you got me a little concerned. And being, like, the master that you are, I really wanted to try your foundation. And I had heard good things about it, so that also makes me kind of, like, wonder, like, what's the deal? Are you reformulating? Are you doing something new? Or are you just not doing foundation anymore? I don't know. But, does anyone know? Have you guys heard anything? Let me know in the comments, because I feel like I have not heard anything, and Wayne Goss pops up on my social media feeds all the time, probably because I love him, and the algorithm knows it. So yeah, do you know anything about that? Let me know, let me know, let me know. Where is my Smith 253? Gonna get a little glitter on the outer corner. This palette is so easy to use because I'm telling you, you don't even have to know what you're doing to use this palette. You can just dig in and put pretty much anything anywhere, and it's gonna work. They do have a variety of tones, like lighter and darker, and a little bit like pinker versus not pink, but they're all in that cool toned range, so it's like they really all do work well with each other. And that's pretty brilliant. Like, it's a very brilliantly curated palette, in my humble opinion. And if I could pick tones to wear for the rest of my days, or at least if I only had one palette to wear forever, the only downside of this one, which is probably why the lavender one appeals to me, is that I really like purple. And I wear purple eyeshadow a lot, so it doesn't really have any purples to it. It's pink and gray and cool toned taupes for the most part. Wayne Goss number 20 would be another brush I would replace immediately if I could, but the fact is, I can't because his brushes aren't available right now. They're not on the... As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh my god, I want to buy doubles of everything now, because what if they disappear forever? But it looks like I already missed the boat, because they're gone. All my favorite eye brushes are no longer on the website. It is what it is. I will be sad. Hopefully he's just making new ones, because his brushes are my all-time favorites. They're so good. The number 3, the number 20, the number 5, the edit 5. Those are my favorites. Alright. I need something on my inner corner. Let's do this one. So here's the eye look. Alright. In terms of... why am I so good at doing this inner corner and so bad at doing this inner corner? I don't know. It is what it is. Pencil. Tightline. I'm not super picky. I just want something that stays put. The Urban Decay 24/7 Waterline Pencil used to be my favorite. I went in search of something different. I've been loving the Flower Beauty one. I also really like the CoverGirl Exhibitionist one. I do not like the Pat McGrath pencil, but I think she got rid of this one. The Permagel Ultra Glide. Why do I have a feeling that this was being phased out into a different one? I'm not sure. But that one transfers like crazy and does not work on the waterline for me, even though the name implies that it would be having some kind of permanence to it. Not on me anyway. But tightlining, you know, this upper tightline, the upper waterline, to me, I basically, ever since I started doing it, I can't wear makeup without it. It looks so unfinished to me if I don't tightline. I would definitely need an eyelash curler. The funny thing about that is I've got probably half a dozen eyelash curlers. And this is the closest one for me to be able to say I like it, and I don't even really like it. What is this one? It's the Kevyn Aucoin. And it's still not perfect. I must have a strange eye shape, but most eyelash curlers do not get all of my lashes. Get down, Ziva. So this one's as close as I can get. I just ordered the CoverGirl one, which I've never had before. We will see if that one makes the cut, but I would take just whatever eyelash curler I could get because I don't really have a favorite. Alright, mascara. I can say for certain my lower lash line mascara would be the Estee Lauder Double Wear Zero Smudge. A very close runner-up would be the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Liner, but I'm going to go with my OG favorite, and that is the Estee Lauder. Now, for my upper lashes, I have a lot of favorites, so I figured I would just come in here with the current one that I've been using lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of, and that is the Lawless One and Done. Now, I can say contenders would also be the CoverGirl Exhibitionist line. Any one of them, I love them all. Those would be way up there on my list. The Merit Mascara, the only reason I wouldn't pick the Merit one is that it is more of an everyday look as opposed to a bold look, and I think if I could only pick one mascara and have only one for a while, I would go bold, because more often than not, I want a bold makeup look as opposed to like a no makeup makeup. I do no makeup looks, but not as often as I do a full face. So I would probably go with something like this, something more bold just for that reason. But I have a lot of mascaras that I enjoy. So this could be a variable decision. Lower lash mascara, one of the very, very few that doesn't smudge on my lower lash line, because my lower lashes touch my face when I look down, and almost every mascara transfers on me. The Merit mascara does not transfer on me. This Lawless mascara almost doesn't transfer on me on the lower lash line. It will occasionally get a little smudge going on, but this Estee Lauder, it does not smudge on me at all. I did just smash it into my face, but it does not smudge at all, even a little bit. It stays put, and I love it for the rest of my life. Oh, sniffles, allergies. Brows. I'm going to go with my most recent favorites that I've been wearing the most. That's Lawless. Again, this is the Soft Fill Brow Pencil in Pecan, I believe, is the shade I've got here. I only use the pencil to fill in. On this side, I've got this little, like, bare spot. And so then I just kind of give myself a little color there and give myself a little bit of fill and shape. And then on this side, let me brush my brows up. On this side, I have kind of a bald spot right in here. So I sort of fill that in, and then just to make it even though I do have hair that covers this up on this side, I will give myself a little bit there, and then just fill myself in just a smidge, and then kind of give my bald spots Just a little bit of color. I don't do a lot with the pencil. I'm not good at it. That's part of the problem. So I fill in a little bit. This shade is a little bit too warm for me, but it's as close as I've gotten, so I run with it. Then, sometimes I skip that step, but since we're picking one of everything, figured I'd throw it in there. Then I do, this is the medium to dark shade of the Lawless, what do they call this? Soft Set Creamy Brow Wax. Now, I can actually do, I don't know if you can tell through the camera, but I can actually run this along my skin, you know, in my brows, so that if I didn't use a pencil, I can still kind of fill in a little bit of color by like drawing it on my face, on my brows. And so I go through, and this is just to, it kind of gives color to all the little baby hairs, and therefore makes my brows look a little bit thicker and kind of fills in any of the gaps that are going on. I'm very lucky that I made it out of the 90s without plucking all my brows out. I did not do anything with my brows in the 90s, and I know everyone was doing those pencil thin brows. I was being a rebel and not doing anything with my brows. You see how I just kind of drew it in onto the skin there, and then I'm brushing it through? So that's kind of what I do with the brows. Now that, sadly, I have so much brow hair that most things don't hold it in place. Now, I would normally say that my favorite is the e.l.f. Brow Lift. Now I can't even find my second place. Here it is. The e.l.f. Brow Lift would be my number one. This stuff is practically identical. It's the more expensive version, Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze. It was my holy grail until the e.l.f. Brow Lift came out. And it is like, besides soap brows, it is like the only thing that will hold my brows up the way I like them. I like to brush them up, and I like them to stay up. Now, I did just see on the e.l.f. website, I have not seen this in stores yet, and I have not had a chance to order it, but they now make a soap brow, and maybe I just missed it all this time, and it's been there for a while. I don't know. Has it been there for a while? But I just saw it the other day, and it's the first time I saw it. Now, when I do soap brows, Makeup Revolution had a soap brow compact that was okay, but I just didn't see the point in spending the money, because my version of doing soap brows when I was doing it regularly is literally a dollar store bar of soap. I know you're supposed to use the glycerin soap, but this plain old white, it's like the knockoff of Dove, didn't leave a white cast on my brows. And anyway, I always follow it with, you know, some kind of colored brow wax of some kind. So I just use the dollar store soap, and it's fine with me. I want to throw another product in here that I didn't wear, and I'm not sure if it counts, but I would try. I would replace it immediately. Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury. This stuff is just freaking amazing. I have a couple shades of it. I use it sometimes as highlights, sometimes as like just a blurring skin improver, sometimes on a no makeup day I'll use it as instead of foundation, like as in the high points of my face. It is just one of my most favorite things ever. Another thing, I did not talk about primer, but it would probably be, okay, it was really close between the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream and the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I'm gonna go Bobbi Brown, mainly because I'm still crushing hardcore on her lately. And for primer, it would be, oh gosh, it's really hard. Where did it go? I did take it out here because I meant to tell you, and then I forgot, and now I can't see where it went. One option would be the Wet n Wild Impossible Primer, and this one might just win because this stuff is so freaking good. I can't even believe how good it is, and it's silicone free. Like, what? Calorie So Blown, it's a recent find, maybe the past 6 months or so, but I love it. It's really, 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 really good. It's what I'm wearing today. The Tatcha Silk Canvas. Yes, the e.l.f. Putty Primer looks practically identical, but I do prefer the ingredients in the Tatcha. So I would probably go Tatcha, but the e.l.f. Putty Primers would be potentially on that list. Also my Strivectin Line Blur Fector. Like, if I have to pick just one... If you're going to make me pick just one to replace immediately, I'm going to go with the Wet n Wild. I'm going to get my Bobbi Brown face base and my Wet n Wild Impossible Primer, and that's final answer. Final answer. All right, for lip, there's so many options. It's either going to be a lip gloss. I would probably, like, I've been digging the heck out of these lavender ones from Lawless. Forget the filler, the plumping lip glosses. There's so many good ones. I don't think I could pick one. It would just be a lip gloss. Now, I will say, this is a brand new favorite. Part because the color, part because it's a stick format, part because it's like a lip tint, but it's got enough opacity to also pass as wearing a lip color, and part because it's super hydrating, like the lip balms that I like to wear. So this is from Jones Road. It's Bobbi Brown's brand. I told you I've been crushing on her lately. You know it because you've seen me doing it. This one is the shade Nude Mauve. Thank you, Sherlock. Here's why. Just watch this. Watch how beautiful this is. It is a perfect nude. The shade is perfection. I love it. I love it so much. Super hydrating. Lip gloss, anything. I'd say I'd pick something, and it would be something. It wouldn't be a lipstick. It would be either a tinted lip, like a lip tint, or a lip gloss, or a tinted lip balm. It would be one of those. All right. Here's the face. The face. If I lost all my makeup, why would I lose all my makeup? Let's not even think about that. That's terrible. I don't want to think about how I would lose all my makeup. Do you see how my sideburns are being ridiculous today? Hello, you're supposed to stay down. Down. There it is. That's my face of favorites. Face of things I would immediately replace if I lost all of my makeup. All right, what's your list? Let me know down below. What are the absolute must-haves that you would replace immediately if all of your makeup disappeared? What would it be? Or let's just think if we were starting all over and there were no limitations on budget or resources, because that's way more fun. What about your dream makeup? Like, what would you get if you absolutely... I'd have a lot of By Terry. What foundation? I would definitely have a By Terry foundation. That's a whole nother video. Should I do that video? Should I do, like, if budget were not an option, what would my face be? I don't even have most of the things I would want. Maybe I have, like, one example of everything. It would be probably a Pat McGrath eyeshadow mothership. Oh, should I do that video? Let me know. Do you want to see that? Do you want to see my high-end face? Do you want to see my budget face? I don't know. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know. Let me know. I'll put it on my list of videos to make. As always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. Let me know what your Insta replacement makeup would be down in the comments below. And as always, I appreciate your time. Thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day. I appreciate it, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.